Hi everyone, welcome back to another video. It has been a hot minute since I was last on YouTube. I am really sorry that it has taken me so long to upload. I don't think I've actually uploaded since the beginning of November maybe. I don't really remember. I know I did the vlog when we were in... Did I vlog when we were in the Peak District? I did, I'm sure I did. I did the Peak District vlog. And then, yeah, I think that was it. I don't really remember. I don't know. It's not important. What's important is that I'm now back. I hope you're all right. I've really missed uploading. I think I haven't uploaded for a huge variety of reasons, in all honesty. But I have been so busy, which is semi-unbelievable because we've been in a lockdown. But seriously, I have been busier over the last 4 weeks than I've ever been in my entire life. So in a nutshell, obviously I do my normal job and then I do my Saturday job, but then what I did was I launched the Fight for IVF campaign. That took, and is still taking up, so much of my time, I can't tell you. It is literally like another job. So we're constantly running the Facebook page, we're constantly making sure that there's still momentum out there, that people know what it is, we're still doing the news interviews, etc. So it really has been quite full on, but then on top of that, if you follow me on Instagram, you'll see that I've also launched my own business called FERTILITY. So I have been working really hard on that website and getting everything ready to launch, but then on top of that there's a shop attached to it. So I was making all the t-shirts, making sure that all the sweatshirts were ready. So if you haven't already, you can now buy t-shirts on the website. The link is in the description box below, and you can also pre-order like the comfiest sweatshirts I've ever seen in my life. So they're great. So yeah, I've been doing all of that, which has just taken up so much of my time, but on top of that I had a bit of a dip mental health wise, which wasn't really great. Like I'm okay, like I'm absolutely fine, but yeah, I just had a few weeks where I went through a period of serious self-resentment, and so the idea of sitting on a camera just wasn't really my idea of fun. I just had a lot going on, so yeah. But now I'm here, now I'm back, and now I have every intention of keeping these regular. Obviously, Marco bought me this really nice camera for my birthday, and I need to use it. I'm definitely getting more confident going out and about vlogging, which is great. I've been doing more of that on Instagram, so that's okay. Now I just need to kind of go over the bridge. That means I'm quite happy vlogging with a camera on a tripod in public. But we, so tomorrow, if you're in the east of England, as in, I think it's Cambridgeshire, Northamptonshire, and I can't remember where else, but if you get BBC Look East, tomorrow night I am on that talking about the IVF, Fight for IVF campaign. So that, oh, it's great, and it's really, really great that we've got that exposure. It is absolutely fantastic, but it's like the most dramatic thing I've ever done in my life, in the sense that obviously when you film things for TV, it has to look good, and it has to look good on the television. But when I say that they had me in a park on a swing looking sad, I'm not joking. Like, filming me walking away from it looking all sad and emotional, and honestly I deserve an Oscar. Like, it was great. It was really quite enjoyable. I really liked the newsreader that came. The cameraman was brilliant, and they made me feel really comfortable. And it's really not a funny situation at all, but I was just laughing the whole time, because they made me feel so comfortable, and I think I'm just so comfortable talking about it now. But it was great, really, really good interview. So hopefully they've done it some justice, but that'll go live tomorrow. But I'm in a park like right outside my house with people driving past constantly, and I didn't wince. So maybe, just maybe, I might be over my public fear of filming. We'll soon find out. Anyway, I said today I was going to film a Q&A because it's been that long since we caught up, that I thought it would make a bit of sense if I just answered some of the questions that were flying around, and then we can kind of just crack on with things over the next few weeks. I know it's Christmas. I know I didn't film the decorating the Christmas tree. I will show you it at some point over the next few weeks, but yeah, like I say, I just really wasn't feeling it. So we're gonna get back into the swing of things now. Everything is gonna be okay. I have a new place to film, which is great. It's just my bedroom, but I've got a new bed, new bedside tables, and I feel like I've styled it really nice. So I'm going to utilise this room because I feel like the lighting's really good in here as well. Anyway, I'm going to stop bubbling on now. Whoa. I'm not sure what just came out of my mouth. I'm going to stop bubbling on now. But I sound really posh when I said it. Anyway, I'm going to stop babbling on now, and we'll crack on with the Q&A. I did put out on Instagram yesterday a question box for you to all ask me questions, and you did just that. So we're going to make our way through these questions. There's quite a few, so I'll try and keep this video as succinct as possible. I'll try not to babble on too much, but you guys know me, and Huns, you know that I can talk for England, so buckle up, this might be a long ride. Okay, so question number 1. What is your degree in? Well, boys and girls, I have a degree in criminology. I went to Leeds to study. I'm not going to big myself up and pretend I went to the University of Leeds. I definitely did not. I went to Leeds Beckett, which was formerly known as Leeds Metropolitan. I absolutely loved it. I would quite literally cut off a left tit to go back to uni. They were the best 3 years of my life, and I would do it all again in a heartbeat. I do think if you are contemplating, I don't think many people watch my videos, given that I talk about infertility and things like that. I don't think many people who watch my videos would be under the age of 18, but if you are and you're considering going to university, for me, I think it was the best decision of my life. I think you go to university obviously to study and to further your job prospects, etc, etc, but for me as a person, I grew so much in those 3 years, and they've made me who I am. Like, I would not be who I am without university, and I made literally the best friends ever there. So yeah, fantastic, miss it all the time. I also got accepted to go to University of Edinburgh to do my masters, and I was going to do my masters in families and young people and their psychological welfare, etc. I can't remember what the actual course name was, but yeah, I didn't do it, and I kick myself for that all the time. I don't really know why I didn't do it. I think because it was Edinburgh, but yeah, and there was a bit of a hiccup with the student finance. I wasn't entitled to the full amount. I think the course was something like 15,000 and I was only entitled to like 10,000 funding or something like that. I can't remember, but that's why I didn't do it, and now I regret it, but that's the way of the world. Question number 2. I'm really interested in hearing more about your Monday to Friday job and what it involves. So I have been in my current job since the very end of June. I work for a learning disability charity, and basically what I do on a day-to-day basis is give people information and advice. So if it's something that the customer service team can't deal with, it's a little bit too complex, it needs some extra research, people need to know their rights, etc, etc, those cases then get allocated to people like me. We're a really small team, and yeah, so that's what we do. So if you rang and had an issue and it couldn't be dealt with over the phone, it would be passed to me. I would get in contact with you and we would work through your case and figure out a way to resolve it. So that is what I do. So most of the time I'm dealing with families, so I deal with the families of people who have learning disabilities. So yeah, it's an enjoyable job. It's a lot slower than what I'm used to. So beforehand I was a civilian for the emergency services, and I loved that job, like really did love that job with every ounce of me, and I really do miss it, but I couldn't do the shifts. I've been doing shift work since I was 18 years old, so after nearly 8 years of night shifts and 24-hour shifts and all the rest of it, yeah, I needed an easier life, and now I've got a bit of an easier life. I'm not sure whether or not it's a bit too laid back, not laid back, but whether or not it's too slow for me. Like, I really like that stressful environment where you feel like a headless chicken and you're running around, but what you feel is like, you feel like what you're doing is really important, and I do feel like what I do is really important, and I really do find my job very rewarding, but I think I just miss the work stress. I don't know. I work from home, and I work from home kind of even if COVID wasn't a thing. Like, that is my job. My job is at home, and I definitely miss that team feeling. I miss the banter that you get with people. When I worked for the police, it was very much like you're a family, and it was really like everyone was so close, and even when things were rubbish, you always knew that your team had your back. So I do miss that feeling. But I definitely enjoy working from home and enjoy being able to breathe while I'm at work. So yeah, it's an interesting job, and I hope that answers your question. The next question, do you make any money from Instagram? I bloody wish. No, I don't. I am nowhere near, I don't think, monetizing my Instagram. I have just under 6,500 followers, which is quite a lot, but it's not a huge amount or anything like that. Like, I can't do the swipe ups, anything like that. One day, of course, I would like to. It kind of goes hand in hand with everything that I'm doing, in the sense that it goes hand in hand with the YouTube, which I don't make any money from. It goes hand in hand with the business that I've launched. It goes hand in hand with my campaign. Like, that is what I love doing. When it comes to things to do with infertility, that is what I love doing. So I've obviously launched my business with the intention of eventually, hopefully, it being my full-time job and it being what I do for a living. Instagram is a massive part of that. I think Instagram is a huge marketing tool these days. So yeah, it would be nice. And of course, if brands wanted to work with me, then absolutely, depending on who and what it was, I would potentially do it. But I think it's really important that you don't promote things that you wouldn't necessarily use yourself. So I have an advert. I say I don't make any money from Instagram. I don't. There are a couple of brands that I have worked with in the past, but it has been a case of them, so they have gifted me products in exchange for me posting something on my page. It doesn't happen very often, and they haven't been huge brands. Obviously, I did do some work with River Island, but again, that wasn't a paid for thing. That was, I got the outfit I was wearing paid for. And then I did something with NutriBuddy, and that again, yeah, I didn't get paid for that. Again, I got the products. I have an advert coming up this week with a phone case company, which is an interesting story because it isn't something, I say it's an interesting story, it's probably not that interesting, and I might bore you a little bit now. But yeah, so this phone case company got in contact, and again, offered to gift me a product if I promote it. And so I said yes to that because I really did like their products. I'd had a look on their page before to buy. I already followed them, so I've said yes to that, but again, I haven't been paid for it as such. And yeah, and then there's another one coming up well, it won't be in January, but the partnership kind of starts in January. I'm not getting paid for it, but again, I have been gifted a product in order to review it. So everything I do is with complete transparency. Obviously, if it is an advert, I will tell you it's an advert, and I'll also be honest about the product itself. Like, I'm not going to sit here and say, oh, look at this, it's absolutely fantastic, if it's a pile of shit, because I'm not, like, I did acting as a kid, but you know, I'm no Olivia Colman. Like, I'm not an Oscar-winning actress. I cannot sit here and pretend to love something if I hate it. So, yeah. But in short, no, I don't make any money off Instagram. I do not have any kind of income from social media, which is a shame. Maybe one day, we'll see. So the next question, would you consider a GoFundMe for IVF? I get asked this quite a lot. I think especially lately, because we've been talking about round 3 and we've been talking about the fact it is so expensive. It was something that the BBC interviewer asked me the other day as well. In short, the answer is no. I think I have said a few times maybe one day, but I think that one day will never come. In all honesty, it's a pride issue. So first of all, it is a case of I have too much pride to openly ask people for money. Secondly, I think I have too much, like, I would feel guilty. So if it didn't work, I would feel like I owed all these people something. But then on top of that, if it did work, I struggle with unsolicited advice anyway, that I feel like when it comes to my child, if these people had donated to the fund that led to me having that child, I'd find it harder to tell them to frankly fuck off. So no, it's just not something that Marco and I would consider. I'm a really independent person. I like to do everything for myself. I don't like asking for help in any way, shape or form. We've had help from our families, but that's different, I think, to putting out a charity fundraiser. Like, as sad as it is, I'm not a charity and I don't want to feel like I am. and that may sound harsh or horrible, and like, no disrespect to people who do it. If people want to do it, that's absolutely fine, go ahead and do it. You do you, like, I don't care. But for us, it's just not something that I feel like I could consider. So the next question, how old are you? I am 26. Would you advise getting every test on our egg and sperm before starting IVF to reduce failing and money? It's difficult. I think before we started, we had all the tests that we had under the hospital when we were first diagnosed, so all the GP fertility clinic tests. Going into a fertility clinic, there is a never-ending list of tests that you can have, and frankly, if you are going to have every single one of those tests, it's not going to bring your cost down. It might in the long run, because you'd hope that you wouldn't need as many cycles because you know exactly what you're playing with from the word go, but that first cycle would be extraordinarily expensive. I probably wouldn't get every single test going. I would get whatever your clinic recommend based on your medical background. Obviously I don't know what your medical background is, so I can't help on that front, but we had certain blood tests, and then obviously the tests with the doctors, so like my AMH levels were all checked, I had my laparoscopy, my HSG. Marco had the basic sperm test, but obviously he hasn't had things like the DNA fragmentation test and things like that yet. And I think for your first cycle, I don't know, it's personal preference, but personally I would speak to your consultant and see what they advise based on your medical history. Obviously do bear in mind that clinics are businesses that are there for a profit. A good clinic, I wouldn't think, would tell you to get tests done that you don't need doing. Like, regardless, they're going to make a profit, but just make sure that you trust your clinic is all I can say. So the next question is what you will be considering. So what will we consider when we pick an IVF clinic, as there's mixed reviews for all. Okay, so we went with a clinic who worked for some people, didn't work for us, and I don't just mean it didn't work for us in terms of we didn't get the pregnancy, I just mean their way of working didn't work for us. I think for us, communication is absolutely key, and I think you pick up on that quite quickly. Also gut feeling. I didn't go with my gut feeling the first time, and I kick myself for it all the time. So gut feeling for me is really, really important. The aftercare is really important. Also recommendations, so I speak to a lot of people on Instagram, so picking our clinic this time has been very much based on gut feeling, initial feeling when we first spoke to the clinic, their communication when they first spoke to us, the way in which they spoke to us, their prices obviously have a huge thing to do with it, live birth rates have a huge thing to do with it, but yeah, I think aftercare, it's all relative, but we spoke to a lot of people on Instagram who have used different clinics, and I kind of took it from there. Obviously everybody is going to have different reviews, everybody's going to have a different experience. You will find that some people will talk down about a clinic just because it didn't work for them. Our clinic there was a lot more to it than it just not working. We were basically told that there was nothing more that could be done, and that we would just need to try ICSI again without any further tests, when actually speaking to a lot of other people and speaking to what will be our new clinic, that's not the case, and there is actually quite a few different things that we can try. It's just that that clinic didn't offer it, so they couldn't offer it to us. So there's a lot of things to consider. It's a really, really personal choice, but definitely do your research. Kind of work out what's important to you and then go from there. So the next question is, do you think you will get another dog? I would love to get another dog. I, in an ideal world, would like 5 dogs, but our house is nowhere near big enough. We had 2 German Shepherds at one point in this house, and it was the best thing ever, but it made our house feel very, very small. At the moment, us 2 and Bruce is perfect. I think we have said that we will look at getting another dog in 2021. Whether or not this actually happens, knowing that we are starting IVF again in the autumn, I don't know. but it is something that we are definitely considering. I think if we do, we will most likely get another Labrador. We have got a name picked for another dog, because the intention was that we were going to get one in spring, and then, like I say, things have changed. But yes, we definitely want another dog. Why aren't you doing IVF abroad anymore? Well, I feel like a bit of a plonker because I filmed a video few months ago now, with our whole new plan, and that we were going abroad and all the rest of it, and obviously now I've gone back on my word. So the reason we have gone back on our word is not for anything to do with the clinic, not to do with anything, like, there's nothing wrong with going abroad. It would still be something that we would consider. The reason we've decided not to do it for our next round is there's quite a few different reasons, but the main one is just the logistics. That at the moment so Marco works from home, he's self-employed, the logistics of it are even harder if we're going abroad as opposed to just going to London, etc. It's also getting somebody to look after Bruce. It's the way we'd want to do it. It's my job, his job. There's a lot to it, but yeah, we just decided that it was a lot easier for us if we stuck with a London clinic at the moment. I mean, it wasn't specifically London, it was just a case of stick to a UK clinic. It just so happens that the clinic we've chosen is in London. So yeah, it definitely just made more sense for us at the moment to stay in England. Whilst it would have been slightly cheaper for us to go abroad, I think given the fact that we are wanting DNA fragmentation tests and things like that, I don't know, we just felt more comfortable staying here for the time being. The language barrier didn't have anything to do with it. I've had a few people on Instagram ask if that was why. It's not. Marco is fluent in Italian, but he can also speak a bit of Spanish and this, that and the other. He's quite good in languages, is my dear husband. So yeah, that didn't bother me at all. It was just the logistics of doing so. So the next question, which clinic are you choosing? So I have thought long and hard about sharing this. I wasn't going to, on the basis that I feel like last time I made a choice and shared who I was going with, and then obviously I decided I didn't really like them very much. So I worried a little bit about giving them a bad name, when that wasn't my intention. They're not a bad clinic, it was just our experience wasn't what I wanted. We narrowed it down to a few. We narrowed it down to CRGH, we narrowed it down to the Zeta West, and we narrowed it down to another one, I can't remember who it was, Lister Clinic, and we aren't actually going with any of them. So what we have decided to do, I will share it. There's no point in me, no, I will share it. We have booked a kind of like a virtual open evening with the clinic that we are hopefully going with. We had a lot of recommendations from people, whether they had used them or whether or not they had just had a consultation. We had a lot of recommendations, but the clinic we're choosing is the Evewell. I've never heard of them before, or I hadn't, and then we were on their website and we were just having a look through, and I got a feeling when I was going through their website that I hadn't got ever before when looking at a clinic, and for the first time in a long time I felt really excited about going forward, and for me that was enough. That gut feeling was just enough for me to say these are who we want to go with. Their prices look quite reasonable to us. We got in contact with them and yeah, they were really really helpful, really friendly. So yeah, that's who we're going with. Obviously my experiences, I do just want to stress, they are my experiences and they are based on what I want and what I expect. It's different for everyone. My old clinic were not a bad clinic. I can't sit here and say not to go with them or anything like that. It really massively depends on what you want from a clinic, and unfortunately they cannot provide what we need going forward because our case is a bit too complex. And that's all there is to it. The next question is, do you intend on getting any more tattoos? Yes, I do. So, I don't think I vlogged any of this. I'm not sure, but I have basically got 3 tattoos in the last month and a half. So I already had 3. I have one on my leg, which I'm not sure, no, ooh, that's a bad angle. I have one on my leg, which I might be able to show you. I don't know if you can, yeah, I don't like it at all. I had it done when I was 18, and yeah, I rushed into it and it was a bad mistake, and my ex-boyfriend paid for it, so that's really not ideal. And then I have another one there, which I do quite like, that one, and then I have another one on my rib, which I'm not going to show you because I'm in a dress. But I hadn't been tattooed since I was 18, and then I decided, I just got a bit scared because I don't like them, and I was like, oh my god, what's going to happen? When actually what happened was, I was 18, I rushed into getting tattoos, and yeah, I shouldn't have done. I should have done a bit more research, but I learnt my lesson. So yes, I've got 3 recently. So I got that sunflower there, on my arm, which I really, really love. I really, really like that. Sunflowers are my favourite flowers. They remind me of a lot of really special people in my life. So that's why I went for that, and I really, really like it. I then got this wolf. So I don't know if you can really see that. Let me try and, oh, I wasn't intending on moving around. So there you go, I've got this here. So there you go, you can see my sunflower a bit better there. There is my wolf. So the wolf I got, I think there's a lot to be said about a she-wolf. Marco has a wolf on his arm, and I just liked the fact that it was a little kind of attribute to his. And I also think it looks an awful lot like Tila, who, if you remember, is my German Shepherd that we lost at the beginning of this year. And I just really like it. I think it looks really pretty. And then last week, was it last week or the week before? No, nearly 2 weeks ago now, I got this one. So this is quite a big one, but this is my Mary Poppins tattoo. So it's still healing, so it doesn't look fabulous at the moment. As you can see, that it's still quite scabby, but it is the Mary Poppins umbrella, and then it just says, going around it, it says practically perfect in every way. So yes, I do intend on getting more. I would like this arm to have quite a few more. I don't really want to go here, but I definitely want a shoulder piece. So I got this here with the intention of having another piece all here. Otherwise it will just look a bit odd on its own, I think. Something here, and then around here. I'd basically like this part of my arm covering. I think I'm quite insecure about the top of my arms, so I'd quite like them covering. But I love them. My Mary Poppins one I got done because as a kid, Mary Poppins was literally my favourite thing to watch. I used to make my grandma watch it on repeat, and it's just mine and my grandma's thing. I call her my very own Mary Poppins, and my granddad is very poorly now. My granddad has had Alzheimer's for about 8 years now, and he's now in the very, very late stages. He's not known who I am for a really long time, and my grandma looks after him, and I just, like, my grandparents are just my favourite people in the world. My grandma has been my best friend for a very, very, very long time, and every time I look at it, every time I see anything to do with Mary Poppins, it makes me think of her. And so that's why I got it, just as a little, it's just always meant a lot to me, and I've always wanted a Mary Poppins tattoo. And I found the person I wanted to do it, so I got it done. Obviously they're not for everyone, but they are. But yeah, I'd like a lot on my legs as well. My intention was always to get my legs done. But yeah, I want to be one of those people. Sorry, sorry mum, sorry dad. But yeah, so that's what I'm doing. So yes, the answer is I do intend on getting a lot more tattoos. So the next question is, let's have a look. Will you vlog your next cycle of IVF? Yes, of course I will. I might not do it all in real time. Like, I might not have my egg collection on the Monday and upload that on the Wednesday. I might do it a bit slower, so if it does or doesn't work, me and Marco have that privacy. But yes, of course, I have every intention of vlogging, blogging, doing all of it. Every intention. So the next question, let's have a look. Have you quit your Saturday job? No, no I haven't. I definitely cannot afford to quit my Saturday job while we're saving for IVF. No, some of you may not know, I don't know if I've mentioned it on a vlog before, on a Saturday I work in an estate agent's. I haven't quit at the moment. I am furloughed, although they are open. The branch I work in at the moment, they are only having the management work at the moment. Which is, yeah, fine by me. I get my weekends back and I'm still getting paid. So I am very lucky. I have been very lucky throughout this entire pandemic. So yeah, no, I haven't quit. Next question. What is your favourite thing to film for YouTube? I really like filming vlogs. I think I get real imposter syndrome sometimes when it comes to vlogging, and I don't feel like I lead the most exciting life ever. And I'm also not going to start pretending I do and spending all this money and going out to all these places that I wouldn't go to normally just to get good content. Sometimes I would, it depends like what I'm doing, but no, I like vlogs to be really authentic and to be really normal. And yeah, so they are definitely my favourite to film, because I think then when you look back at them, I really like editing them, because I'm like, oh yeah, I forgot about that. So it's great, and I like being able to watch them back. But yeah, I just haven't recently, I suppose. I get a bit embarrassed about it, like when I am filming. Like sometimes I can sit in front of Marco and talk into a camera and it just not bother me. Whereas other times I get a bit shy and embarrassed. Don't really know why. But yeah, there's definitely more of them coming this way. Next question is, who is your favourite YouTuber? My favourite YouTuber is Lydia Millen by a long shot. She literally is just incredible. I love her, I love all that she does, and I just think she's an all-round great gal. But I also like watching Emma's Rectangle. I watch a lot of her. Ellie Darby I watch a lot of. But yeah, Lydia Millen is definitely my favourite, and she's brilliant on Instagram as well. She does a lot of really, really good reels. And yeah, she lives the life I'd love. So yeah, her. Next question is, oh, okay, we're getting a bit controversial now, gang. Will you be getting the COVID vaccine? Yes, I will, if and when it's offered to me. I suspect I will be quite far down on the list, being 26 with no underlying health conditions. I can't see me being offered it like this side of next Christmas. I don't know, but yes, if and when it comes round, yes, I will. Unless it's within 3 months of me starting IVF, because obviously they have put out a notice to say, I think it's pregnant women and people trying to conceive and likely to get pregnant in the next 3 months or something like that. So if I was to get offered it like 3 months before we started IVF, I'd say no. But yes, I do have every intention of getting it. Okay, next question is, do you still go running? Yes and no. So I haven't been for just over a month. Firstly, because I have been so busy, but B, the last run I did was an 11k, and I don't know what I've done, but I did 100k in a month. I did a charity challenge, which was amazing. I raised over £300. I was really happy about it, but I seem to have done like some kind of damage to my foot. So I had a broken toe, and I knew this before I ever started doing it. I broke it months and months and months ago, but obviously you can't do anything about it. I didn't actually know it was broken until I saw my chiropractor. But yeah, basically I've now started getting some foot pain and some shin pain, and it's just, at the moment, I'm just resting it, and then if it doesn't get any better, I'll go see a doctor, but at the moment I'm just not aggravating it. So I don't think I'm going to go for a run before Christmas, but then I will get back into it as of January, because I did really start enjoying it, and this time of year it's so much better going running because you're much cooler. So yes, I do still go, but I haven't been going. And then the final question is, oh no, what have I done with it? Here we go. And then the final question is, what are your plans for Christmas? I don't know. I don't know, I'm having a bit of stress. I do know what my plans are for Christmas, but it's stressing me out a little bit. So my parents aren't together. My sister is going to be living with her boyfriend, so it's a case of Christmas Day. Our plans were that we were going to see my mum and my sister, so that's our 3 households all on Christmas Day. But then obviously the day after, my sister will be going back to her house, which is miles away, and then we're here. So it means I won't get to see my dad, it means Marco won't get to see any of his family. So yeah, it's a bit frustrating, but at the moment there are plans. So at the moment I'm spending Christmas with my mum and my sister, unless anything changes, but I doubt it will. So yeah, they are my plans. But other than that, nothing. We're in tier 2 where we are, so we'll have to see what happens when they review the rules, whether or not we can meet anybody for a couple of Christmas drinks or not. I hope so. I really want to see my best friend. So we'll see. But that is it. Anyway, this video was definitely a lot longer than I anticipated. I am going to try and edit that so you have that this afternoon. But I hope you're all alright. I hope you're doing really well. Do let me know in the comments kind of if any questions, if the answers surprised you at all. If there's any further questions that you have that I didn't answer. Do let me know what videos you want to see going forward. I'm going to try and film as many videos as I can over the next couple of weeks. I have some time off over Christmas, so I'll be able to do plenty of vlogs for you there. But what do you want to see? Like daily vlogs, weekly vlogs, weekend vlogs, sit down videos? What sit down videos do you want to see? Like, let me know, because I'm really eager to get back into the swing of things now. And if you haven't already, please do go follow me on Instagram and follow my business on Instagram. I have started a business, Innovation Fertility, so I'll link everything below. And if you haven't already, do make sure that you give this video a nice big thumbs up, leave me a little comment down below, and please subscribe to the channel so that you can be notified every single time I upload a video. So I will see you very soon. If I don't see you through week, I'll see you through winter. But I'll see you on Instagram, and yeah, have a fabulous week. Thanks for coming back. See you later.